Hi, this is Kerry Artek with Wicked Stocks, bringing you your daily NVIDIA report for Thursday, June 20th, 2024. But before we check out the charts, I just want to ask you to please click like, share, subscribe, and check out wickedstocks.com, where we offer a full suite of both daily and weekly analytical videos, just like the daily Tesla and daily NVIDIA reports, daily analysis in the SPY, daily analysis in the Triple Q, weekly analysis in the S&P 500 index, the NASDAQ 100 index, and Apple stock, as well as 2 individual stock picks a week that you never see on YouTube that cater to the 3 to 5 week swing trader out to the 3 to 5 month near-term investor, always looking for 20% moves or more on those underlying stocks. And you get to see all of this for free. We offer a 5-day free trial up front. So check out wickedstocks.com. Let's take a look at the charts. I'll start with this, just a reminder that it was in early May that the market set off a long-term buy signal by closing above this descending flag at the top of a move, an all-time high that set up this more newly formed rising channel top that is presently at 124.73. This was considered kind of a 2 to 3 month objective that was reached in about 4 weeks. And we had trouble here for a spell, but was it last week? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, it was last week, Wednesday of last week, as I recall, that we opened above this structure and closed at new all-time highs, new time high settlement. And then we've been really kind of underway ever since in the midst of what I consider to be a secondary buy signal that is expected to play out through July, really, expecting this full channel extension at 158.38. And this is a targeting mechanism. They're very useful. They work quite well. But in terms of calling this our overall objective, like a ceiling of resistance that can contain buying into later year, no. This market has the ability to continue its vertical status well into the year, later year. But yes, closing above 158.38 would provide yet another sign of follow-through buying. We're in no man's land when it comes to line studies, really. I mean, we have near-term line studies, which I'll get to in a moment. But in terms of the big picture, you're looking at really what we have. Holding above 124.66, a base of support as we move through the month of July. Buyable support, an area to go long in, and expecting the upper 150s and climbing as a 1 to 2 month target that may actually be realized over the next 3 or 4 weeks. And that is still the big picture. And you can see the same on the daily chart, 124.73, 124.73 on the weekly chart, 124.66. We'll probably lower this 124.73 and focus on the weekly chart later in the week. And then preceding that 124.66 area is a rising channel bottom that we show here at 126.72. And this is a channel structure that goes back just about a month, really. This is almost a 4-week channel structure. So if tested, this zone of support between 124.73 and 126.72 can absorb. Now I have annual support. That's probably mislabeled. Yes, it certainly is. This is really more of kind of a 3-star weekly support area at 126.72, but it is just above this 124.73. Both of which should really be multi-week. To say that annual in the context of structures that only go back some 6 months or so is a bit of a stretch, but it does underscore the importance of them. Anyway, getting back to this structure here, 126.72, the beginning of a range of support down to 124.73 that can contain selling through July, and once again, a longer-term resistance in the upper 150s, a 1 to 2 month target. Now on the way up, we've got 140.69 that may well be tested today. That in itself is an intermediate 3-week channel top that can contain daily buying pressures. Should you go short here? I wouldn't suggest it. I do think this is a good 3 to 5 day profit-taking area. If you recall from Wednesday of last week, we'd mentioned how this 3-week channel top at 140.69 is your objective. So if you are a 3 to 5 day swing trader and you've been long since our buy signal last week, you may consider taking at least some profits at 140.69, but also know that we have 146.62 as a 1 to 2 week objective. And if we close today above 140.69, we should see Friday, Monday, 146.62, which is a 4-week channel top able to contain weekly buying pressures. This, if you've been long over the last week anticipating 146.62, is your profit taking area. Can you go short here? Once again, that's up to you, but keep in mind that we do see 157.69 as a realistic 1 to 2 month target, and make that within 1 to 2 weeks of closing above 146.62. So I've been saying this 157.69 could be realized in 3 or 4 weeks, and we'll just have to see how that all plays out. Just a side note that the 146.62 steeply rising 1 month channel top is actually converging by the end of this month with 157.69 anyway. So it does lend itself toward the 157.69 as a realistic upside objective. Let's talk downside today. I'm going to, where should I go? Let's see. What do I have here? Hold on a second. I hate to hem and haw as I look for these charts. So I'll use this chart. 133.73 is, let's see, Monday's high. And if I could zoom in here, and I'm not going to, but if you were to zoom in here, you would know that, if you recall, Monday's high, we gapped above Friday's high. We put out a new all-time high. Then we fell back to close negative on the day. And so that's meaningful high. We closed above it on Tuesday. And so I'm going to call that our intraday support. 133.73, I could have a horizontal line going across here. That is nothing more than Monday's high, can contain intraday weakness, and above which bullish momentum remains firmly intact today, 140.69 in reach. FYI, 136.33 and 139.27 are carefully chosen minor resistance levels that you can trade if you're an aggressive day trader. And aggressive day traders are, for me, beyond the day trader who's looking for the trade of the day. They trade throughout the day, so have at those minor points. But if you're looking for the trade of the day, it is buying 133.73, assuming we open above it, and taking profits at 140.69. And if, once again, we close above 140.69, expect 146.62 probably tomorrow, where we could top out perhaps through next week. But be careful. We could back away from here modestly and trade sideways for a few days before then presumably continuing our upward move to the targeted 157.69 full channel extension. Downside today, let me take you back to this chart. If we happen to break or open below 133.73, that is, of course, once again, Monday's high, yesterday's low. Let me rephrase this. So if we break 133.73, that is Monday's high, Tuesday's low of 130.69 is in reach. And 130.69, that is to say Tuesday's low, is meaningful today. It is the low of the all-time high. And so if we were to close below 130.69, that would clearly indicate 124.73 to 126.72 tomorrow. But until then, I see this as a decent bottom picking level as we move into later week, which isn't saying much because we're already in Thursday. But 130.69 is our, our momentum reversal event into tomorrow. Until then, all systems go to the upside, especially still above 133.73, expecting 140.69 possibly today, 146.62 over the next 3 to 5 days, and make that tomorrow with a settlement today above 140.69. My goodness, lots of numbers to throw at you. Let me finish with this, and that is to say that if we close today below 130.69, Tuesday's low, expect 124.73 to 126.72 tomorrow, where we could bottom out, especially 124.73 through July activity. It's not going to happen today, but if over the next couple of days we close below 124.73, is that a sign of longer-term weakness as we move, into later July? It very well may be. That is the rejection of a longer-term buy signal, but I'm not interested in playing the short side aggressively unless we were to close below 118.52, which is a 1-2 month channel bottom that will be converging anyway over the next week with the 124.73 structure. So it is really a range, as you can see down here. here that will be narrowing daily and converging entirely by the end of next week. If we were, over the next week or two, to settle below 118.52, that does indicate a good high through July, and we should then fall back into the upper 90s within 3 to 5 weeks or less of doing so. I think that pretty much rounds it out. I'm going to leave it at that for Thursday's NVIDIA report. Please click like, share, subscribe. Check out wickedstocks.com. Take advantage of our 5-day free trial. You'll get daily triple Q and daily SPY analysis. The Q is testing a very important long-term resistance area as we speak. You might want to check it out. I'm going to leave it at that for Thursday's NVIDIA. I'll be back tomorrow with Fridays, and you have a great day.